Welcome to this live demo test of the SVS SB-3000. If you're wondering, on the left we have the XTZ-1217 Edge, which I've reviewed before on this channel, and up here we have the SB-2000 Pro, which is directly related to this SVS SB-3000. There isn't a Pro on the 3000 because this is the one that started it all off with the smartphone app and all that sort of stuff, and all these other ones got upgraded and so they were called Pro. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to do a live demo and going to run a few tests so you can get my live reactions to this subwoofer. And first we're going to play THX, which I've heard so many times now, so I know how it should kind of sound. Let's go. First thing I'm going to say is, just from that initial, I've calibrated this system before, by the way, before I started this video, but just from that immediately at the beginning, that sound effect there was very, very powerful. And I would say that now that this subwoofer here, the SB-3000, is coming close to a level with the XTZ-1217 Edge, just from hearing that. Obviously there's more material to hear, so let's go. So far, that this subwoofer is surprising me. To be honest, it's easily better than that SB-2000 straight away. Like, I thought the difference when you look at the specs and then you look at the measurements, the CEA 2010 measurements, you look at those and you're seeing, like, you know, this is a few decibels more than that or whatever. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're actually playing this bass is very deep, it's very tight, and it's much more so to the ears than that SB-2000 Pro. So yeah, I can tell though that compared to a ported design, as what you would expect, it kind of sounds like it's distorting a little bit more, but in the sense that it's hard to explain. With a port, the driver it barely has to move, and the natural amplification from the port keeps the distortion levels low at the lowest frequencies, whereas a sealed design, the driver is doing all the work, and distortion with these sorts of designs at like 20-30 hertz, we're talking like 15-20% plus distortion. And I think that's what the difference is mainly between these sealed boxes that can do that 20 hertz loudly, like I'm saying now. But I can just tell it doesn't sound as effortless as a port, which you would expect. But I'm still very happy with it. It's still very tactile. Let's carry on. That was insane. Yeah, there's something I really like about this this SB-3000. So yeah, that's the end of that. Let's move on to the next test. It's going to be Top Gun trailer. That note at the bottom there, that first note, I've heard it a little bit louder before. from these other systems. So, but it still sounded powerful enough.
30+ years of service. Combat medals, citations. Only man to shoot down 3 enemy planes in the last 40 years. Yet you can't get a promotion, you won't retire. Despite your best efforts, you refuse to die. You should be at least a 2-star admiral by now. Yet here you are. Captain. What is that? It's one of life's mysteries, sir.
That note there, when I'll go back to it quickly. That one there, that's among the most tactile I've ever heard that. Deep and powerful and tactile. It's pretty incredible, to be honest with you.
The end is inevitable, Maverick. You're kind of headed for extinction.
Maybe so, sir. But not today.
Yeah, this subwoofer, sorry, is God, I'm lost for words. It's scary good. It's scary good for a sealed. I was not expecting this, to be honest with you. I really wasn't. And I'm not paid to say this. You know, SVS have nothing to do with me at all. I'm just being sincere here. The next one is Interstellar. We're going to put that black hole scene on that I like so much. Sorry, the wormhole scene, not the black hole scene. That's a good one too. But we're going to go to the wormhole scene. Here we go. Oh my God, I can already tell. Yeah, I'll tell you something. There is a violence to this bass. There is a violence to this bass that, I mean, I had a BK monolith, okay? So comparing that to the XTZ12 17 Edge, this thing here has some violence to it. But I had a BK monolith plus, sorry. In fact, I had 2 of those, and they're ported. And I've heard this scene on that subwoofer a few times, and this is just on a different level. Like, I'm not just talking in terms of volume, I'm talking in terms of, like I keep saying, that tactile violence. It's got a violence to it.
Everybody ready to say goodbye to our solar system? Our galaxy. Here we go.
Okay, so in this scene, as you can see, the driver over there is working like incredibly hard to reproduce this scene. And I'm feeling from the couch now, from this position, this is where this SB-3000 is starting to show the slightest of weaknesses compared to something like a ported subwoofer. It's still way better than that SB-2000 Pro that's sitting up there. Still way better than that. Who knows? Maybe I think two 2000 Pros would be able to beat this, because it would have a driver size equivalent to 17 inches plus 1000. It would have 1100 watts in total as well at its disposal, RMS. So yeah, I mean, two of those would cost you almost I don't know, this is 300, another 700 or so on top. So if you want one subwoofer, then I would say that is way better than that. But if you're going for two, then maybe these two would be okay. But let's carry on with this.
Terminal work here. Passing through the bulk. Space beyond our 3 dimensions. All you can do is record and observe.
What is that?
I stand by what I said. This is the type of bass where this is now starting to show a little bit of weakness. It's getting into that range now. So and this is where a ported subwoofer would shine, because the ported box would be tuned to this sort of frequency. I'm guessing this is around 20 hertz or so, this bass. You can just about pick out a note very, very, very faintly, and you can feel it around the room. So it's probably around that sort of level. So yeah, ported box would be tuned to that sort of frequency, and the natural amplification that you get from a Helmholtz resonator would mean that you're going to get between 2 and 3 times amplification from the box for free. Basically, you don't get any. It's the amplifiers working, the driver is working, but you're getting an extra 10 to 12 decibels or something like that for free with a ported box tuned to this sort of frequency. Whereas sealed, it has to do it all on its own. So that's why I'm saying that I can feel that it's a little bit less on this scene, but the other scenes were, I think, really, really good. I was very impressed. So that's that. Yeah, there's a scene actually on Lone Survivor. At the end, right, there is I always talk about this violent bass, and like this is what I call the realistic bass, because I'll show you this scene first and you'll see what I'm trying to say. It's here. It's literally at 1 hour 45. So I'm gonna let it play from like here. There we go, there. And you'll see what I'm saying.
Hey. Yes, Texas. America is Texas, yes.
Tex.
Texas.
Texas.
How you doing this, man?
Yeah. My God. See, that's what I call the realistic bass, right? Because it's not just about how loud the bass is. It's about how loud it can go and how quickly it can decay. Because if it does it like that, it will sound like an actual bomb has gone off. A bomb doesn't linger. When a bomb goes off, and yeah, I've heard a few bombs in my time, not F-bombs. Heard a few of those, but you know, in chemistry class and stuff like that, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, when a bomb goes off, it's instant. It comes and it goes, and it scares the life out of you. It's not like a typical LFE ported box sort of sound effect where you can feel it, and it's there's like a deep bass to it, but it doesn't make you jump out the couch. That's what I'm trying to say. This thing is the type of bass that makes you jump out the couch. That's what this thing does, okay? It sounds very much like the XTZ1217 Edge, because this is not your standard type of ported box. It's a very, very tactile sound, this XTZ. Much better than other ported subwoofers I've heard in this price range, and even double the price range. But this SB-3000 sounds like that. And I heard this scene using the SB-2000 Pro, and it didn't sound like this. The SB-3000 is way better for this scene. So to conclude this, okay, I'm going to obviously carry on, playing around with this. And if I have anything more to say, I'll add it on. But I think the conclusion to this is, if you're looking for one subwoofer, you want it to be small, you want it to be powerful, you've got a medium-sized room like I do here. Like I said, you want one subwoofer, you want it to be small, you want it to be powerful, you don't want it to cost ridiculous money. I think that's the one. That's the one there. Forget that one there. Forget the SB-2000. Forget that one. I've tested the 2000 Pro, sorry, the 3000 Micro I've now heard too. And I'm just going to say straight away, this is where you start, I think. If you're serious about home theatre and it's sounding realistic, I think this is where you start if you want one subwoofer. Alternatively, you could go down the route of getting two SB-2000 Pros. Now you could gain 6 decibels if you do that, if you place it in the same position in the room. But most people, they spread the subwoofers out. So the thing is, if you spread the subwoofer out, some of the bass frequencies are going to cancel themselves out. You're going to get a smoother response, but all those 6 dBs that I talked about earlier, you're not going to get them. You're going to get maybe 3 dBs if you space it around the room. You could get up to 6, but you're definitely going to get 6 if you put it in the same spot in the room and they're attached to each other. So again, with two SB-2000s, I don't think you still might not get the same bass that this thing's pumping out. This thing is crazy. I think it's a great subwoofer. This is where I would start. So that's all I have to say on this matter. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment below if you want to ask me a question. Anything you like about this subwoofer, just leave it in the comments below and I will get back to you. Thanks for watching this video.